Welcome to the starting guide tutorial for forensic spaces for the workshop. Um, to start directly within Unity, you just simply open it up on the computer, and then depending what system you have, if you work with the HTC Vive or Oculus Rift, just choose here in this projects panel the HMD that you need. Sorry. Now I am working here with the HTC Vive, so we're gonna open up this preset here. This is a short introduction scene, basically, where you can start up your project. It's a pretty clean scene. If you hit play and turn on the HTC Vive headset, then you will be directly in VR. Now, if I just take, for example, the headset, move it around, you see you are in virtual reality. You have the controllers here. If I turn them on, and you can start walking around and testing out stuff. But before we go deeper into VR, let me just explain you some general things about the user interface. One of the most important things is that you work in scenes. So this here at the top, that is called Player on Floor HTC Vive. This is the starting scene, right? So in Unity 3D, all the 3D stuff is stored in this asset folder structure. And scenes are nothing more than just a certain amount of 3D objects, or how do you call it? It's just saving the position of 3D objects. So, for example, when I delete all this stuff that is basically here, you have everything that is in your scene. When I delete all this, and also this cube, those example word objects, I have a pretty clean scene, and I can save this scene under Scenes Forensic Architecture, and then I call this clean, and you see it's here. So if I go move back to this scene, everything is back there, and then I can go back to the clean scene. So everything you see here is basically the same like in your file explorer on the computer. So if you go to right click, show in Explorer, you will see the same file structure as here. So here we have also our two scenes. Yeah, and I've created this empty scene to give you a good starting point for your project. You have just a directional light here, but of course you can also delete it and play around with some other things. But what is most important is this thing. It's the player VR object. Within this object, everything is set up for your player. All scripts and everything. You don't need to do anything here for the moment, but if you want, for example, to move your player to start it in another position, so let me just show you what I mean. Let's open up the scene, and you see when I hit play, I'm starting at this this position here in the middle. And if you go on the player and click on the camera rig, no, it's not there. But if you turn it off, go on the Steam VR and hit it as visible, you will see the play area where you actually are, and you see this kind of camera. So for example, when I want to move the player or want to start in another direction, you just click on the player and, for example, turn it around, move it slightly to one of the side, I don't know. If you want to start straight away in front of the stairs, for example, you can go also into the top view and then just position your player like this. And when we start up now the scene, and we play, you are directly in front of the stairs. So another very important thing is that everything you change while you are in VR will be deleted immediately after you turn off the play mode. What does that mean? That means that, for example, when I hit play, and I'm not going into VR now, but I'm going into the scene, you know everything is active. Or I can go into the VR and show you what I mean. Let's turn on the game mode back. So, for example, when I just grab those things and throw them away, let me just turn off the device. You will notice that they are now here, but of course when I turn off play now, they will be back on their initial position. So you see now one example of an object that is attached with certain components, but I won't go into this for now, because you can also watch the other tutorials where they clearly explained every single component is explained, what you can do with the object, and what you have to set up to specific objects here. Also, a very interesting thing about here is that these plugins that you need to attach, the components that you need to attach to the objects to make them work in VR, they come with a bunch of examples that you will find here, and you can you have 44 examples what you all can do in virtual reality. So it's not just about touching objects and grabbing them, throwing them away. You can also set up different modes of walking. You can set up, for example, let me just have a look here. Grabbing objects with joints. So when I go here into virtual reality, you will see that I have the possibility, wait just a second, the possibility to define
different kind of joints also to the objects, how they behave and what they could do. And here on all these scripts you can have a look and see, for example, when let me just turn off the device. When you just click on the object, you see the lighter, for example, interactable object, fixed joint grab, and then it has certain snap points. And actually you will see in the other tutorials how to set up all this. Also this kind of things. So if you want to try out things, here for example there is this kind of spring joint that you just saw. If you want to try out a few stuff, just go through all those tutorials, through the scenes. Just hit play and then you will quickly realize what you can do and what is possible and what you can do with the objects. So yeah, basically you see you are every time in the same layout, but you're opening different setups of 3D objects. So when we want to go back to our scene, we just go back in here and then we are there. Another thing is the asset store. You've all seen the trailer for the submarine, and in the asset store you can find a lot of free stuff for what you need for your project. Of course there's a lot of paid stuff, but you can always type in price 0 to 0 apply, and then you have all the free stuff that you can download. Motion of people and all that thing, like for the submarine scene, for example. I've downloaded the skeleton. You just quickly, you see it's free, you download it. Once it's downloaded, you just import it and it will be imported directly into your asset folder. So it's not somewhere here in your scene, it will be here placed as a 3D object, and then you can just drag and drop it into your open scene, for example. So for example, if I import the skeleton, just hit import. You see here this new folder was created, and what you can use always in this kind of folders and this kind of assets that you download is prefabs, or here it is an FBX model. Probably there are some example scenes, but not in this one. Okay, but skeleton static. Now we just take it, drag and drop it into our scene here, and you see there's our skeleton. Maybe a little bit small because this box is set up to 1.8 height. You see it here on the right side. So the skeleton should be scaled maybe by factor 2. I don't know. Or we can do it 2.3.
thing is always that these objects have a lot of possibilities to move them. You see the skeleton has a lot of subfolders and layers, but if you click on every single one, you will notice that you can just, oh no, sorry, it's the wrong one. But if I want to move the hand, probably cough. So if you open up all those subfolders and under the structure, you are able to, yeah, let's say, move every single bone, but it depends always on the other one. So with this one, you can then probably create, I don't know, different structures. You see, it's also some kind of reacting with it. And this is doing all this prefab of the skeleton. And for example, for the submarine scene, I also changed the texture. So if you go into the skeleton, okay, here it's a whole prefab on a material skeleton body. You can open this in the Explorer. It's material, but somewhere should be the texture. Show in Explorer. You can, for example, modify this, where I added, for example, here this hole for the gun, and then you just need to reattach the material to the object via drag and drop. Yeah, also 3D Warehouse is a huge has a lot of 3D models you can just download without even creating an account, something like this, and try out the models. Mostly 2016 works best, and it brings even the textures in. You just drag and drop the models into your assets folder. So just to make it clear, you better do subfolders like 3D import stuff, and then in this folder you can just simply put in all your 3D data, and you will see also that it will appear here. I don't know, where did I place this? Show in Explorer. 3D import stuff. Ah, it's wrong in assets. So now it's here. Yeah. mm, that's basically all. If you watch all the other tutorials, you will see how to interact with all those objects, how to set them up, and otherwise just ask me during the workshop. Have fun.